Cheers.
Cheers. You chilled that.
Yeah. No, that was easy.
Ended.
Well, I just put in the ice and then let it sit for a while.
You didn't even shake it?
No, that's just more ice for if we decide to drink more whiskey.
Stirred.
What?
Shaken, not stirred. Stirred in this case.
Oh, that's what.
You know, like the old fashions?
Yeah, but I didn't even realize that stir means like literally stir.
Yeah, they put the spoon in and you know, like with the big ice cube.
Yeah,
they put
that makes sense. We know that from James Bond, right?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen many of those movies, but
the James Bond movies.
Yeah,
let me go like this.
I remember I went to see, I think Spectre.
That's good.
You know that one?
Spectre.
Yeah. No, you don't know that one.
Is it with Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
No,
I like was dozing off in the movie.
They're not. How old were you when you watched it?
It's probably like freshman in college. Like,
oh, so that was pretty okay.
Yeah, another underwhelming movie. This might be this
might
gonna
not be
well received.
Okay, let's see.
Star Wars, the new ones.
Oh, the new ones are shit.
The new ones,
yeah, the new ones are ass.
I remember it came out right around my birthday, and it was The Force Awakens.
That one was garbage. Was that the first one with
the first one
with
the first
with the
remake.
girl I don't know. Rey?
Yeah, Rey. No lightsabers. I mean, I'm sure it's has something to do with the storyline, right? You probably know more than I do. But,
I watched all of them, but I just don't even remember the new trilogy.
But yeah, it was for my birthday, and I also was dozing off
because it was shit.
Yeah, just didn't
grasp you.
Didn't do it for me. No.
You know what did a similar experience, but this one's for what is unanimously considered a very good trilogy, series, whatever, franchise. Yeah. That the first time I went to watch it, I left the theater because I was like scared and bored.
Scared?
And bored. Because there was so I was bored throughout the whole movie, and then there was one scene that was like pretty scary. I was very young, but like a scene that was pretty
what is
Lord of the Rings. I can't remember which movie, but I remember just being like, "This movie sucks." Like, you gotta rewatch it though. I've watched them all since, and I am.
You probably left with the orcs and stuff, with their ugly like faces. I
think it was it might have been. It was part of the Lord of the Rings franchise. I think it might have been a Hobbit movie because the scene was
no, because those are newer. There's no way you got scared and when you left the movie.
You're right. Well, maybe I don't know, maybe because I might be a little bit. I'm a bit pussy, but when it comes to I just remember the scene was a sequence explaining how Gollum became Gollum, and there was like a scene in like a cave, and it's really dark, and you see like his gangly ass body, from behind, and he's like making noise, and I was freaked out. I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
there was like
that was the beginning of one movie, if I'm not mistaken, where he gets the ring.
Yeah, from
and
the
he like
marshes.
kills his brother.
Exactly. Yeah,
for it.
Yes,
and then he like just gets corrupted.
That scene was when I was like, I need to leave. Okay, what like early in the franchise?
Early in both, I think.
So it was released in the early 2000s.
I think it was
something.
I think it was early in both. Early in the movie
and early in
the franchise.
Oh shit. So. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I left. Because I couldn't fucking handle it. I was too scared.
I'm sure people would correct me and know exactly the timestamps on it. But yeah, I think it was early in both of those.
Your voice sounds good as shit. I miss doing these. I'm not gonna lie. Like don't that's for a different. That's from Patreon and OnlyFans only. You're gonna have to pay for the subscription to see that.
Yeah,
if you guys want to see that.
It's not that kind of podcast. I know there's some podcasts out there like that, but
what's that shit called?
Yeah,
plug talk.
Yeah,
this is butt plug talk. So TM. That's what this is.
Yeah, we both got one.
In the chamber? Oh, we both got in one. Yeah, mine vibrates. Yeah, you click crazy. Turn mine on, I'll turn yours on at the same time. We'll see. Yeah. Who can hide it better?
Oh my god.
Like you just start shaking. Yeah. You're like, that feels good. Yeah. Oh, buzzing.
Oh my god, no Diddy.
No Diddy. For sure. Don't get the fucking baby oil out.
Yeah, that dude's crazy.
So yeah.
What were you? What?
No, I was just gonna say we got a pretty. It's been a minute since I've uploaded a podcast. Had a lot of shit go on recently. Not like bad stuff, just a lot of life changes.
Busy man.
been traveling. Well, just got back from traveling, but before that,
Well,
I
no
moved out of
quotes in traveling.
you
traveled.
No,
There's
but I think the reason I did that is because like I'm saying I've been traveling, but that's not really. I moved out of Brooklyn, obviously, as you could tell. This is no longer the Brooklyn studio. That's behind us tragically, but also fortunately, I guess. That chapter of my life has come to a close. So in the moving process and moving all the shit back and forth, it's been like annoying as shit, which is why I haven't gotten the chance to record. This is the first one back, and I don't even know how long. I think I haven't uploaded in like 2.5 months. But this is going to be a pretty good episode. I'm excited. We're going to talk about the travels and just shoot the shit, catch up. I haven't actually, besides last night, we haven't hung out in a good amount of time. Just because of like,
You've been
schedule.
busy traveling.
Yeah, traveling. Yeah, but so before we get into it, I guess like I'll just say, so prior to this trip, I was not that excited. So I guess I should preface by saying that I went to Montana recently, and that trip was I wasn't really the most excited about it because I don't know, it's Yellowstone National Park. Like I love nature and stuff like that, but
why'd you choose to go?
Okay, so Hannah, that's a great question. Hannah, for my birthday, was like, I want to like basically buy and treat you to like a trip. And I was like, oh, geez, that's pretty big, right? And I'm like, that I don't know. I felt a little bit uncomfortable because I was telling her like,
not used to, not used to getting treated like that. And not in a bad way.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But usually guys are the ones
exactly.
Like,
that's what I was trying to tell her. I was
yeah.
like, I'm not used to like me being like money being thrown like in my direction.
Ain't that something, huh?
And it felt weird. Yeah. And I told her, I'm like, it feels weird. Like I feel like I'm in debt now, like an indentured servant or some shit. But it's like if I were to spoil you, I wouldn't think second about it.
I feel good about that. Usually
like giving people stuff.
I love doing that. I love giving people stuff and it just, I don't know, makes me feel good. But then like you said, when you receive it, you're like, you're not used to it. You feel like indebted to the person. You feel like it is a weird dynamic feeling. It's a weird dynamic
for sure.
But hey, take it where you can get it.
I know. Honestly, I was like, well, you know what? Fuck it, because the girls have been spoiled enough. It's time for the guys to get one under their belt or something.
Little pendulum.
It's time I get flown out somewhere. How about that? It's
Fly
time
me
for
out,
me
damn
to
it.
get flown out, bro. Clap some bison cheeks. But anyways, no. So she was very kind and she basically like treated me to that whole experience. She planned everything like far in advance. The only thing that like I guess she was like in between a couple places, and she gave me, I guess, like a multiple choice like options on what to go for the trip. And I chose Yellowstone because I do love nature. I've already been to the Grand Canyon, and I figured it's cool to like check off the other options. One of them we were thinking like spitballing just for a little bit to drive up to Montreal. Right, that's the one that's over here, like 5 hours away. Yeah. Vishal said that was a pretty cool. He liked Montreal, so I was throwing that out there. I think Hannah's been to. We were thinking somewhere in Canada. I think she was thinking somewhere else in Canada, but they were all nature focused trips because we really like.
Vancouver's not.
Vancouver has some really nice nature actually outside the city. The city itself is also really beautiful. I think it's a port city.
It's West Coast.
West Coast, but I'm pretty sure it's a port. It's on the coast. Like it's a port city. I'm pretty sure.
You know what?
But the surrounding
I don't know Canadian
area,
geography
yeah,
that
neither
well.
do I. I can't even tell you what region.
Ottawa,
it's from.
Montreal, and Vancouver. That's about it.
Quebec. And that's really Toronto.
Yeah, Nova Scotia up there.
I don't even know where that is.
I just threw that out there.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I know Calgary, Alberta,
Calgary,
shit like that. I don't fucking know. Canadians, most of them live basically in the U.S. anyways, like within 2 hours of the border. So she treated me to that trip, and I chose Yellowstone because it was on my bucket list to see the Old Faithful, right? So that's why I was like, I want to go to
Old Faithful,
the geyser, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know about the Old Faithful? Okay, so
is it like the most consistent?
It's
geyser?
Yeah. So it goes off every 60 to 90 minutes. Okay. Every 60 to 90 minutes.
Since
like
when?
Clockwork. Oh, I gotta look up since when actually. Since when has the Old Faithful
been active?
Why is this not auto?
Anyway, did you there's this big mega volcano, right?
The whole thing. The whole thing
is
basically a mega volcano, yeah. Was kind of shitting bricks a little bit, especially when you see like up close. So I'll add this in a footnote, but it says an eruption lasts anywhere from 1.5 to 5 minutes and expels anywhere from 3,700 to 8,400 gallons of boiling water.
Damn.
The height reaches anywhere from 106 to 184 feet in the air. It was discovered in 1870, and since its discovery, it's been going off in every 60 to 90 minutes.
So who knows how long it's been then?
I don't think
you don't think you could figure that out?
It's pretty tough. It's pretty
tough.
What
is it called?
Geologist.
It's
tough.
I'm sure they got away.
There is, but the thing that makes it difficult is that so like and the only reason I know this is because obviously there's like little informational plaques, like outside, right? So I was reading a bunch of those, and apparently geyser plumbing, if you want to call it, is super complex. Like the amount of intricate little water channels that you need underneath the surface that all conjoin in like a certain way to build up pressure in a certain way is very specific. And like geysers will do this thing where they self-destruct, and then it no longer is a geyser, it's just a pool or a spring because there's no more pressure that builds up to erupt the water.
Damn.
So in one of them, for example, there was it's called, oh my God, it's in the mid-geyser basin, right? And so I guess let me give you a little bit of context here. In Yellowstone National Park, it's 2 million acres, right? There's one road that goes through the whole thing, and that's called the Grand Loop Road.
Okay.
And that it's 2 fucking lanes.
How long? How many miles?
How many miles? Damn, that's a good fucking question. But it's...
If you have to guess, like how long does it take to do a loop? How many hours?
To drive from...
One loop. One complete loop.
Oh, I would say that takes at least like 6 hours to drive, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you could do the math.
Something
like
60. Like that. But you're not going 60 mph. You're going like less. 45.
Oh, because it's a park.
Average. 35. No,
so it's probably like 200 miles then, a loop.
Yeah, I would say. Probably around there. If it's let's see. How long is the...
I'm getting caught up in the nitty gritty. But
No. This is good to know, actually, because it's interesting. Should have had all these facts beforehand. Oh, it's 142 miles long.
Okay.
So it's the paved road that winds around the park in a figure 8 pattern. And basically, so like, look, this is what it looks like. That's the whole park, right? Mm-hmm. And in that, if you divide that figure 8 into like quadrants, that's how we broke up the trip. So we went, the first day, we went to the north/northeast. Second day was the west. Third day was the east side of the park. The south doesn't really have much.
So this is...
What do you...
You said the zone between Montana and Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where that is?
It's like Wyoming. Let's see.
Oh, Wyoming. Sorry, Wyoming. Is that what you said before? What did you say? That there's a name for that blend.
Oh, Idaho. That's in the that's in the Teton. So that's the second national park. So we visited actually technically 2 national parks and 3 states in this trip. But for context, right? The whole park is, I said, 2 million acres, and then there's like the upper geyser basin, which is like I guess highest elevation collection of geysers. There's the mid geyser basin and then the lower geyser basin.
Okay.
Just in the upper geyser basin, that upper geyser basin region contains 25% of all of the world's geysers. Just the upper part, not including the other 2. Right?
And where's the other 75 in Iceland?
So that's why I was curious. I think it's like mostly Iceland and then like the Pacific, like Japanish area where there's a lot of like geothermal activity, right? Yeah. So in the upper geyser basin, that's where the Old Faithful is located. And the Old Faithful, seeing that erupt has been on my bucket list just because I don't know why. I think it was like an old fairy tale or some shit from when I was a kid, but I've known about that for a really long time, and I was like obsessed with it in elementary school for some fucking reason. I don't remember. You
know, like those old like Scholastic book fairs when you see like the National Geographic things.
Yeah.
I used to love those.
So, me too. So I think that's where I kind of there's some like remnants of some fucking long lost.
I used
childhood.
to love like the solar system ones. Like space stuff. I had like a little mini like kid encyclopedia of like.
See, that carries out though because we're both fucking science nerds overall, but science nerds and stuff like that. So that checks out that we would.
For real, I used to love that stuff, man. And like when I was young, like middle school, I was like, I don't want to be an astronaut. Blah,
or a
blah,
scientist
blah.
or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
For me, it was marine biologist for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I was fascinated with, like, the ocean and shit.
Yeah, but then you realize, like, first of all, it's like, you got to go through a bunch of schooling and be, like, super smart.
Yeah.
And, you know, I ain't got it like that. But it's also, like, I don't think it's that, like, glamorous, really, to be an astronaut.
An astronaut?
What do you think?
Socially, it's probably pretty glamorous, but the actual
Socially is glamorous? Where you're out there for 100 days and you don't talk to anyone but your crew?
So, I mean, like, they're held to a high level. Like,
social status.
Social status.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it. Is astronauts, I feel like, are on the same level as, like, doctors, lawyers.
I think it's, like, even higher.
Probably,
because
right?
there's
like president.
There's like no astronauts out there.
I can't even name. I can name like 3.
I can name 1.
Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, that's about it.
Who was the other dude that he was with? That's famous too.
The guy who walked on the moon.
Yeah, because he. Oh yeah. It's not Louis.
It's
that's
Lance.
fucking.
It's Lance.
No,
that's the biker.
That's the biker. Yeah, that's the cyclist. I'm like, it's not.
That's the one who has testicular cancer.
It's probably Peter Armstrong.
Wait, no,
it's
This is ridiculous.
This is American history.
I know we should know that. That's bad. Okay, so it's not Lance. It's not Louis.
Hold on. What's the name of the crew? The shuttle? Was it the
Apollo something? One of those numbers. Damn, we suck. So much for all those like middle school solar system books.
Hey, but it was in middle school.
Bro.
We need to fucking defund the Scholastic book fair from all the schools.
I gotta dust them off and read them again. Apparently,
nah, for real. What was the crew?
All right, it was
Moon
Armstrong. What is his name?
Crew.
What's his name?
I gotta
Neil.
It is Neil. Bruh.
That's
Neil
crazy.
Armstrong, Commander. Edwin or Buzz Aldrin, Lunar Module Pilot. Michael Collins, Command Module Pilot.
That took way too long. That took way too long.
Bro, I can't even Google. It's like
Neil Armstrong. That took way too long.
So allegedly, the 3 astronauts that went to the moon.
Allegedly.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins.
You go down some rabbit holes here.
Oh, hell yeah. No, for sure. For sure. I don't know.
But, I mean, kind of speaking of rabbit holes, I mentioned the mega volcano.
Oh, yeah,
You said you were scared about that?
Yeah, for sure. Especially after, like, seeing all that stuff, too. Because...
Did Hannah get scared? You farted a little too loud on the trail? She was like, oh, that's happening.
Actually, Hannah tried to fuck with me at one point, but she was going to turn around and yell bear. But there were other hikers on the track.
Yeah.
And she like turned around, she was going to, and then she stopped because she saw all these other people behind me. And I was like, yeah, don't do that. She told me afterwards, I was like, don't do that. That's really bad.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I had spraying.
I'm not joking.
Stay strapped.
It's funny that you say that because in the videos, like the vlog footage, I was like, stay strapped all the time. Let fucking Yogi run up on me. See, he going to find out. I was saying shit like that.
So
like,
those, I've never like had possession of like a bear repellent.
Except for that one time, this one time.
Is it like giant pepper spray?
It's
like,
basically a big ass can of pepper spray.
Like big, like a lot.
Yeah, it's big. It's like this big. The top of it's just a loop that you put your finger through.
Thick stream.
It sprays out 30 feet of mist in front of you. But
mist?
Of mist. But my thing is,
oh my god, the wind.
That's exactly what I was scared of. I was like, what happens?
It must be dense though.
Like, I think it's pretty dense. Like it's
they
sticky.
must make
like
it in a way that it won't just blow back.
Yeah. I think it has to be. I think actually probably what it is a lot of the canister is compressed, like more just pressurized air, and not so much of it is the actual substance.
So it'll just go 30 feet out as deep.
Yeah, that's deep. For a mist on a windy.
Yeah, but so the wind won't kick it back.
I don't think so.
Pressurized out hard.
I don't think so. Unless it's like you're spraying directly into the wind on like a fucking big ass open plane. But even then, I would
because you see videos like of people shooting pepper spray, like funny videos, and it just like comes back.
Yeah. But the bear spray is like it's a big, thick, sturdy fucking can, and it has like a whole safety mechanism that you have to disengage before you could go and start spraying it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it comes with a holster. And I had that shit on my belt.
Felt good, cowboy.
No, literally. Like sometimes I found myself like kind of hipping it, like
just a cop of feel.
Quick. Like to have something, but like I wouldn't look at it, so I could just pretend in my imagination I'm rocking
it's your
like
revolver.
Like an old school single action fucking cowboy peacekeeper or peacemaker or whatever. But yeah, so Upper Geyser Basin, I got to see Old Faithful. I'm not gonna lie, the initial walk up to it, I was expecting more. Like it aesthetically does not look
Like you're in Yellowstone?
Like how I imagined it to look. Like I thought it was going to be like a mound and like very glorious, like kind of like a by itself high up in the air, and it's kind of like like a shrine where you look at it from afar and you're like, holy shit, this is like Old Faithful. Like but it's not that. It's just like a fucking plain field and then a little mound of like white dirt. And it's a little bit of steam, and I'm like, that shit's kind of whack. And then I saw it erupt.
Oh,
and that's
crazy.
when I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Because
100 feet is crazy. Does it come down on you guys?
Yeah, so
I mean, by that time it's cooled off.
It's cooled off, but it'll get people wet enough where they stink like fucking sulfur for the rest of the day. And that's the thing too. No, not me, because when we saw it erupt, it's funny because you know it's about to erupt because you see hundreds of people all around the perimeter. Yeah, because they have it clocked. So then you see and you're like, oh, it's about to erupt. So Hannah and I were like, we were deep.
Are there any sounds that like happen, or it just comes boom out of nowhere?
No, it just comes out of nowhere, and it's just like, and it's like pressure, just steam.
So how did that compare to the one we saw in Iceland?
I would say it was probably grander.
Oh, I'm sure. But like, I mean, how much like bigger and like
bigger? The amount that it shot into the air was pretty crazy. I don't have a video on this phone. Hannah
had one of the Iceland one, which was like,
that was pretty big.
It was big, but I wouldn't think 3,000 to 8,000 gallons.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was that much either. I think that one probably shot up like, 20, 30 feet, not like 100 plus feet. That thing, when it shot off, like you see the main stream of water and then the steam coming off of that, and it's all like,
that thing recharges pretty quick.
It is. No, that thing, there ain't no what is that called, refractory period for that thing. That thing could just keep coming and coming and coming since 1870, going, boy. God damn, Old Faithful.
Clockwork.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
That motherfucker got it loaded. Yeah. Old Faithful got hyperspermia for shizzy. You know what hyperspermia is?
No, but I could guess.
I think I have hyperspermia.
Yeah.
Some big ass loads. Some big ass loads.
Bro, hey. You gotta.
We'll find out later. On the Patreon exclusive version of this episode.
Was there another stop where you were Old Reliable instead of Old Faithful?
Yeah. There was a couple.
They put you up around the corner every 60, 90 minutes?
Yeah, there was a couple. Maybe not every 60 to 90. Maybe every like 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
I need a little bit of time to recoup, get some calories in me.
Get some trail mix in there.
Chug some water, pineapple juice for some flavoring.
Yeah, you're good.
The whole nine. You do the whole nine. Yeah. But so the Upper Geyser Basin was lit. But the part that I was thinking about you specifically that I told you about yesterday.
Yeah, I remember.
There's right off of the Old Faithful Geyser, there's this thing called the Old Faithful Inn, which is the world's largest log structure. I can't even say home because it's a
Jorvasker.
Dude, it literally fucking reminded me of Jorvasker, because it's not that it aesthetically resembles it. It's just the grandness of it. Like, like the...
Because Jorvasker is like a big like boat looking thing.
That's the companion's home, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a boat on the top, and then the rest of it's like... Actually, you know what? It actually reminded me more of Dragon's Reach.
Oh, okay.
When you first go in the hall, because
where they capture the dragon and inside all the wood.
So you see how you remember like the feeling of when you're in. We're talking about Skyrim for those of you uneducated motherfuckers that don't know what we were just ridiculous. But anyways, the entrance of when you first walk in through Whiterun, you're like, oh my god, this is sick, and then you make it to Dragon's Reach, and you walk in for the first time, you're like, whoa, this is fucking...
Yeah, you have the first like little level, and then you go up the stairs, and you have that long
and
table.
It's grand, like it's very like tall,
big,
yeah. So this log structure, I was like, Hannah was telling me, it's like the oldest log structure, whatever the fuck, and I'm like, okay, interesting, whatever. I'm not expecting anything of it, and we walk into the Old Faithful Inn. And I'm expecting maybe like a 2 to 3 story log cabin. But it's a fucking, like, we walked in and it just went up for 6, 7 floors. And it's all like the stairs, everything is straight up logs with
no elevators in there.
No elevators. Good. And it's like, it has electricity, obviously, and modern day plumbing. They've since renovated
if you take a dump on the 6th floor, I mean,
then you're gonna
take it down
bucket it or something. Yeah. But now it has modern like touches to it, but the still core of it is very old. Like the nails, everything, like the way it's cut is very rugged. and there's a central chimney that has 4 fireplaces on each side of it that feed into this gigantic cobblestone fucking chimney that goes all the way up.
It's like a big furnace that does it heat the whole place?
It heats the whole fucking place. It's not even on now, because if you were to turn it on, it generates way too much heat. If you put
how much wood do they put in there?
A lot, probably a lot. How many
trees?
I mean, in Yellowstone, you're fucking surrounded.
But still, I'm just curious.
And they probably have like deadwood too, because a lot of the trees fall.
Yeah.
A lot of the trees fall because
from what?
Landslides, because the ground is not stable.
So
this is what. Yes, and this is why I was kind of. There were points on this trip where it's like we were doing a little mini hike, 3 feet like off the path.
In your gear too.
Yeah. I got so this is the Post Malone hat. I got a little bison fucking thing right here, that pin that I picked up, and then I got the little Yellowstone. I bought this in the Old Faithful Inn, actually. Hannah got this for me as a present. Thank you, nice. Hannah. But yeah, so that shit was insane. And when I walked in there and saw it, I was like, I immediately thought of you, because it gave me, I felt like a little kid in Skyrim. So I was like, fuck, if Mike were here and he were to like walk
have some meat in there,
you would have. Oh my God. Yeah, I would have loved to. They had a lot of beer, but obviously they didn't have mead. I feel like that's more of like an English thing, maybe. No. But it was fantastic. And they were telling us like all these historical facts.
Did you stay there?
No, because so if you want to stay there,
how much?
It's $600 a night. And you have to book it a year in advance, because there's only so many rooms, right? And like all these people that travel in from all over the world, and it's open throughout the year, like even in the wintertime. And those brutal Yellowstone winters where it's like -20 outside, they still stay open. I would have paid to see that.
That's College of Winterhold right there.
That is some crazy shit. Like that is some crazy shit. But I
imagine you're just going out there and just like
it would be a lot, but I don't think it's gonna.
How dangerous would that be?
Like very dangerous, actually.
Because you don't know where the trails would be; they'll be covered over.
Yeah, so most of the roads
imagine the park rangers.
Most of the roads are closed during wintertime over there.
Yeah, I'm sure,
because it's just too much. And like
people die,
bro.
How many deaths
in Yellowstone
a year?
I don't know. Let's Google that.
Let me get some of that.
No, I got you, bro.
Bartender.
I got you. Here, you want some ice too?
Yeah.
I'm already sweating, low key. Here, you grab it with your fingers, because I don't want to.
I don't give a damn. You just go like that.
Oh no, you got some
water. It's all right.
Let me get this out of the. But yeah, no, it was sick. It was a great time. I'm taking forever telling this, but basically I got to see the Old Faithful, and then a part of the upper geyser basin, like the way it's built, it's very interesting. Whenever there's a geyser basin, whenever there's any geothermic activity on the ground, or geothermal activity, excuse me, the park rangers have set it up in a way where it feels a lot like you're not really in the wilderness, because you have to stay on a very specific path, because if you stray from the path, first of all, it's very dangerous, because the fucking ground looks so innocent. And like, I think I'm a pretty safe guy, but even when I was there, I did get that idiot part of my brain that was like, that doesn't, you're like, that doesn't even look any, like it just looks like a wet ground. That's it. You don't realize that the water is fucking boiling hot and it's acidic. So like the trees, even trees that are near where all like that activity is, the ground is dyed, like stained white, like chalk white. The trees that are near the area don't have any leaves on them, and they're all dead, like bare.
Damn.
Most of them have fallen. And I even got to see a tree that fell over like one of the geysers. Tiny, not even marked. Like there was no labeling on it. The hole was literally probably like this big. And the water was just bubbling. The whole tree was like, it just looked like if you fucking flicked it, it would turn into powder. It was just like fossilized from all the heat and like all that gas coming up.
Nature is so unforgiving.
It's insane. It's insane. So then all this beauty, right? The one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I think you would find this this would impact you. Like you'd be like, man, that sucks. Is there's a place called the Morning Glory Spring. And I think I actually I did upload it on my Instagram story. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was like that really colorful pool. Did you see it a couple days ago by any chance?
I'm sure I did.
I'll show you a picture, but long story short, it's like one of the most beautiful, notable parts in all of the park. Like it's a huge attraction for the people that visit there.
Did you put the music over that one or no?
That one,
No,
I don't think I put the music over that one. It was the first one that I put the music over, but this is it.
Oh, yep.
So that is fading.
I remember, yeah. I read the caption.
The colors are fading on that, and they even have a diagram, and it's now, like, it's forever been called the Morning Glory pool, but now it's kind of been redubbed Fading Glory because of the fact that the colors are fading so quickly.
Why? Okay, so why is it fading, and what did it look like before?
That's the reason. What it looked like before is just really saturated versions of the colors that are still present. So that blue,
how saturated was it when you saw it?
Insane. Like when I saw it, it was like I'm getting chills thinking of it now. Like you see there, and we were just sitting there.
So imagine what it looked like before then.
Crazy. And you know what's even crazier is the fact that not many people get to see that because it's at the very end of like the trail in the Upper Geyser Basin. So it's
how long of a hike?
I think it's like total loop. Everything is probably like 2
get
miles.
Up there.
Oh, to get up there from the start of like where we entered to get up there is probably like a little over a mile. So not long. Oh. But it's if you take it directly. There's a bunch of offshooting paths, and we did like I kind of had the completionist mentality with this.
Always,
and I was going all over the fucking place.
I mean, if you're going there, absolutely
have to.
You gotta.
So we ended up by the time we got there, it was like an hour and a half later, and basically I was sitting there. I got chills like looking at this fucking thing, and then I read the diagram, that little informational piece that's there, and I was like, what the fuck? Apparently it's fading. That's why they call it Fading Glory. And the reason why is because dumbasses will go and they'll just chuck shit into the pool.
Like what?
Coins and like dumb things. Like, a coin
wishing
to make
well.
a wish.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's not a wishing well. And then what ends up happening is all that shit sinks to the bottom and plugs the hole where all that hot water is coming through. And then because that hole is plugged, the temperature of the pool gets reduced.
Wait, so they can't in any way go down there, clean it?
So they do that. They do it multiple times a year. I think like probably once every quarter, once every half year.
But does it then rejuvenate any
so
color?
They pump out the water. They go in, they clean up and scoop up all the shit that people throw in there, right? Damn. And then it helps a little bit. But the reason it doesn't immediately recover it is because the reason it has those colors is that very specific bacteria over thousands of years in just in this environment collect, survive, multiply.
Can't they like get samples of
and
that
then reintroduce it,
reculture it up, and do it? They
definitely can, but I don't think it's like it. The whole point is that it's naturally occurring. Yeah. So if it becomes like a synthetic thing, then it's just
makes you want to be in nature. I mean, like of course, I love nature. You love nature, but there's like hardcore like
a tree hugger,
conservationist tree hugger. Yeah. You see that, and it makes you want to be that.
100%. No, but because I'm like, who the fuck sees something like that and your first instinct is to throw a fucking coin in there?
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's so dumb.
Imagine how the tree huggers would react.
Bro, if you saw someone, oh my God.
If they saw someone do that,
they would flip out.
And that's actually rightfully so. I mean, that's just like one of the most beautiful things like in the country naturally, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was the water equivalent of seeing like the Northern Lights. That's the best way I could put it.
Wow.
Like when you saw it, I just didn't even want to talk. I was telling Hannah, like, it's weird. Like when you're in really beautiful nature,
you just take it all.
Something about it's like, you just, even if you do talk, you're like, you want to talk like really quiet. You're like, oh my God, like look at it. Like you don't want to like be talking, being like.
It's so crazy, but that feeling. I'm sure people have felt that before, but like that thing, it's so quiet, but it just takes up the space, and it's just like it's like a commanding presence of its own that you feel small, and it's just like loud, like it's just like you just get absorbed in the moment.
It demands your focus, and
attention.
You just
like it just overshadows everything, and it just makes you stand still.
When did you feel that most when we were in Iceland? Like at what point? Because, that's a tough question.
Yeah, that is tough.
There were a lot of points on that trip where...
one that, I don't know if you would agree, but like when we snowmobiled and got to the top of that...
That was crazy.
It felt like we were on like some Martian, like frozen moon.
Like Pluto or some shit.
That was crazy. Yeah, so you just stand there and you just see the vastness. That was one. Northern Lights obviously was another one. Damn.
I think one where we collectively felt it was the top of the at the top of the Perlin.
The museum.
Yeah.
Wow, the Perlin.
When we got to you know why I remember it's called Perlin? Because I remember like laughing because when we were there, we're like the Perlin. Like we were like yelling like the Perlin.
Yeah.
So
that
it
was
like,
Vishal doing that too.
Yeah.
And then I mean, we already spoke about Iceland.
No, fuck it. We could. Who cares, bro? No. Talk about it, please.
No, I remember we had the breakfast, and then we had like the drink.
Oh my god!
With the
what was it called? Preacher's coffee. That Preacher's coffee.
What was the alcohol in there called? It was some rough stuff. It was Iceland's version of an Irish coffee. Brennivin.
Yeah,
bro. We had one of those
lit,
and we were like. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yo, we were lit in that museum.
Dead ass, yeah.
You know, our names are still in that book.
That's crazy. I haven't even thought about that. And on the no, it's under the map of Iceland where that book is, right?
No.
Or do you write it also?
It's in the book of the
Loki Cafe.
The Loki Cafe.
Wait, isn't it under?
It's right as you walk in, it's right on the left side of the book. And then we sat upstairs,
write your name?
Remember? We all wrote our name, yeah.
No, I remember the writing name, but was there a map of Iceland?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think
was it in the book or was it above it?
No, it was above it.
Okay,
yeah. That's cool.
That was a really memorable moment of that trip.
Yeah.
That whole drive
and that kicked it off too.
That did kick it off.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. So yeah, going up, because you said what were moments that kind of like took your breath. Yeah, going up there, because we went in December, January, where it was like pitch black. We were there at like 9 a.m, so it was dark, and sunrise was around like what 10:30, 10 something a.m. So we were there at essentially early dawn.
Mm-hmm.
So like we saw the lights lighting up the city.
Mm-hmm.
Of Reykjavik, and then when you see like a little glimmer of light in the background, just like, oh, that's one right there.
That trip is very like I could get emotional thinking about that trip so easily.
Yeah,
like that trip was so magical, so magical. Like we all have the shared mentality of. And I don't think it's so much the location. I think it's more so the people that we went with.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the location was cool, but if you don't go with the right people,
say you go alone or like with one other person, like I'm sure going with someone else is great. But like we had so many people, and it just like enriched it all, and like we collectively have now a collective memory of it.
Yeah.
So you remember a bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I remember a bit,
and
like
I'll
the book,
like, and
you're like,
oh shit, I haven't thought about it.
So we just like bounce it around. So we collectively remember the trip at a higher capacity than you would otherwise just going alone or two people.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So like, we'll each, little things stand out, for each of us. Like the book stood out for me. I remembered that.
What's like another really random memory from that trip that you remember? I have one that comes to mind right now.
What?
I just can't, like, it's burned into my fucking psyche.
I remember one.
For me, it burned into my psyche was seeing you in front of me on the horse with your fucking shin out.
My ankles were out.
Yeah. Like,
yo, that was the dumbest thing. I had ankle socks in the tundra horseback riding.
He packed that was Nike the dumbest dry
thing. Fit. Bro, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever done in my entire life.
I remember when you put them on, I was like,
bro, I had wool socks.
And you just didn't.
I just didn't do it. You know why? Sleep deprivation. That's why.
Honestly, that's
why I made a bad judgment call. That is why, bro. My ankles. I'm like tan-ish.
Yeah.
My ankles, bro. I look like the Neapolitan ice cream.
They was like ash. It was like ashy as fuck after that because your skin
initially
literally got
it was red. And then after it just dried out, and it was like I almost got frostbite.
No, I was actually gonna say like you probably could have if you had gone long enough. We were out there in 14-degree weather, 14 degrees, and when we got there, the sun wasn't even up, so you don't even have that.
Oh my god! And we did that. We did that. I know we spoke about this already, but we did that when I drove the crew at like 8 a.m. to. They were going to the ice caves.
Yeah.
So I drove them it was snowing that morning, 8 a.m. I drove them like 30 minutes out, 25 minutes out, 30 minutes out. But I didn't have service. So
what? I didn't know
you
this.
don't remember that?
I don't remember this.
I took Kelly's phone.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I took her phone because she had the service. So my phone was a brick. It did nothing. So she had the service. So I used her phone to get around.
But she wasn't with you.
No, she was sleeping. That was the night we stood up till 5 in the morning.
No, it was later than that. It was like 6:30.
So anyway, the point is sleep deprivation is why I did not wear long socks to that trip.
Stupid. We had to get up to be at the fucking horse place by like 8:30. You had to get up even earlier than other people.
Like realistically, I had like an hour and a half of sleep.
Yeah.
Which is almost worse
than just not sleeping.
We should have just stayed up.
I felt sick when we were packing into that.
Yeah, bro, and then just like getting beaten down by that cold 14-degree weather.
Wind with the wind.
And then you're just on the horse and you just feel like a dead man. You're just like...
No, so that's the thing that's burned in my psyche is seeing you slumped over.
Bro.
Like you look like you got shot. Dude. And you were a cowboy that was bleeding out.
Yeah, just like on the...
As it's bucking, like so slight, yeah, and your shin is out, and it was like looking fucking like chalk, like someone took chalk dust and just blew it on it. I was like, bro, something about that image is burned into my fucking psyche.
And then after that, I had to go pick them up because their bus went in a bank. It almost went off a ditch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's memorable trip.
Memorable.
Yeah,
like we fucking faced on the harshest Arctic winter.
Yeah.
Like conditions and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
Well, like for us, we were really out there with like the horses. That was cool. But like Andy and them.
Speaking about breathtaking things.
Yeah.
I had the most breathtaking piss of my life.
I remember that piss. I remember because, I was going to say, this was one of the times that I remember very vividly too.
Honestly, most majestic piss of my life.
That was the first
most majestic piss I think I will ever take.
That was the first night.
I don't think so. That was the night we stood up.
That was the first night. Your second night, but my first night.
Oh, you see? There it is.
That's why.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not my first night. That was your
first night. Because they had got there one day earlier.
So you did that after a bunch of travel, too.
I took a red eye.
On fumes.
I took it. I've never been so tired in my life, bro. I swear to God.
I know. Yo.
We literally, I took a red eye.
I thought I knew what tired felt like.
No.
But I didn't.
No,
I did not.
Trip.
That is what tired felt like. But we were in Iceland, so we were getting up and we were getting out, and we were just, whatever. We were gonna get out and get out of bed because we're in Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
If I felt that equivalent of tired at home,
not moving,
I would sleep for realistically 18 hours. Like realistically, probably 24 hours.
That is, it was really bad. It was really bad. We were running on E the whole fucking trip because we never got a full restful night's sleep. Like the most amount of sleep I ever got on that trip was 6 hours.
Yeah,
because the thing
and it was like a full that 6 hours. Our bodies had to full recovery mode for every minute of that 6 hours.
Yeah, bro.
The nanotech in us was just like,
they were doing all the work,
building it
all
back.
the work, bro. I can't. No, but that I just want to say because just for the point of like the storytelling. That first night, I took a red-eye flight I boarded the plane to go to Reykjavik with Hannah at like 8 p.m. New York time. We landed at 5:30 Iceland time. We then get in the
5:30 p.m.
a.m. So we left at like 7:30, 8, whatever, p.m. here.
Oh, yeah.
And then we landed there at 5:30. Ooh. And Mike and Andy were nice enough to drive from the Airbnb, which was not close.
Yo, that was the start of my sleep deprivation.
Was that?
That was the start.
5
because me and Andy were sitting out. That's another thing I forgot.
Oh, I didn't know this part.
We were sitting out. So we were in Andy's rental. And we went to wait for you at like the terminal, the rental like spot.
Yeah.
Bro, for some reason you were taking it, not your fault, but you took forever. And I was just like in the cold, just waiting in the car, just like
how long was I?
It felt like
because we landed and we immediately got out of there and like
not your fault, but it felt like a really long time, and we were just waiting and waiting and waiting, and it was cold, and it was just
you're tired. It's the morning.
That was the first night.
You were probably like, where is this?
I don't know if you remember, but like I was like in a bad mood. I was like a boppa. I was like, my face was just like, I was just like a dog face. I was just like,
I remember you being like not happy, I guess, to see me. But the thing is yeah, like I wasn't expecting it to be because it was 5:30 in the fucking morning.
And then there was like then the car. Anyway, that's boring stuff. It was just like hard to get the car, and then remember that there was like something wasn't working in the car, or there was like scratches in the car. Something wasn't working in the car.
I can't.
The check engine light came on. That's what it was, right? And you were scared that it would like dud out.
Yeah.
The car would dud out. And they were like, no, it's fine. The check engine. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember.
They said the check engine light was on and, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But then Andy said some shit.
And then they switched the car.
And they switched it. Yeah. So then at that
little
point,
stupid details, but
no, but that's the shit that makes it all memorable. And then at that point, we fucking that was at 5:30 on a red eye. Then we drive back, and I remember we get to the Airbnb. I get out. I'm like tired to the bone, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta take a nap before we start our day. And then right as I'm like packing, like grabbing our bags to bring inside the Airbnb, you come up to me. You're like, hey, I know you're probably not up for it, but we were thinking of going to this museum before we. And I'm like,
yeah, you're glad you went, huh?
I was like, I just want to sleep. But then that thing is like, no, you live for the fucking moment. Yeah. And I was like, fuck it. We ball. Hannah, she went to go take a nap. I was like, let's go. And it's at 7:30 in the morning. We went out at that point to get the breakfast where we drank a heavy liquor. Then we went to the museum. Then we had the spa day at Sky Lagoon.
After that, Sky
Lagoon. Not Blue Lagoon, because that's the...
What was the one? Secret Lagoon was another one?
Yeah, but we didn't do that one.
Oh, we did Sky Lagoon.
We did Sky Lagoon and Blue Lagoon. Sky Lagoon was the one...
With the 7 treatments.
Yeah. I love that place.
Yeah,
that one was the shit.
That was awesome.
And then after that, we got back, had dinner, and fucking stayed up till 6:30 in the morning in a jacuzzi outside in freezing temperature.
And you see like the snow just blowing off the roof.
Yeah,
and then
howling. Because at that night, that night is when a blizzard rolled in, which is why Andy's bus the next fucking morning got blown off the road. Yep.
And that morning I was driving and it was snowing too. Yeah. But yeah, that night is when I had the most majestic piss of my life.
So go ahead and recount that. Why was it majestic? I mean, obviously I know, but I want you to...
All right, so pretty much like we were in the hot tub, jacuzzi. You get out and there were stairs to go down, but obviously everything was snowed over.
Yeah.
But it was snowed over, but had like a sheet of ice, a little like thin sheet of ice over it. So you step into it and it like stabs your ankles, right?
Yeah.
So you step into it. We did jump onto that ice because we thought it was just snow. And we landed on it and I had a bunch of scratches on my back from it. We all did.
Yeah.
But anyway, I rounded the corner from the jacuzzi and just looked out to the city of Reykjavik. And that's what I was saying. It was nighttime. You just see the lights of the city lit up, pitch black, beautiful stars, wind howling. You're coming out of the jacuzzi, so your whole body's like steaming, like emitting that steam heat.
Yeah.
You feel the cold wind and snow hitting your back. You see the beautiful city night lights and everything lit up. And then you realize where you are in the world, too. You're like, wow, I am in Iceland. And you're just taking a nice steamy piss.
That shit, yeah.
And you just take it all in.
Yeah.
You just take it all in. You know, you just have a moment to yourself and you're just pissing and looking at this beautiful city, a place in the world that, you know, everyone should see, in my opinion. A bucket list location in the world.
For sure, yeah.
And, you know, you're with great people, great company, and, you know, those are just moments to live for, really.
Yeah.
You know, like with the people you love, the people you care about, all your friends. My brother was there, you know, it's just like, you know, what's better, you know? So everything culminates and just bubbles up into that being the best piss of my life.
Do you think that trip was so significant because it was nature focused? Do you think that had to do something with it?
I think I would consider myself like a nature-esque person. Like I really love nature. I love sights. I love, sightseeing and just like breathtaking views. But like we said, it's the people too, being there with your friends, your family, it's just that definitely makes it. But location itself, just like looking at it objectively, beautiful, amazing, spectacular, and just like very unique too, and that's why Montana's cool, because it's super unique. You don't see like things like that. You said 25% of all geothermal activity or geysers are in that location,
in the Upper Geyser Basin.
It's cool. I definitely want to get out there and travel more and see the world, but
I think when we do trips from now on, they have to be nature focused trips, because I had a kind of realization on
not Japan.
So this is like
Japan does have nature places.
Oh no, Japan's weird because it's like it's such a foreign landscape that everything's
new.
Yeah, everything's new. But the nature thing, the thing I realized on the trip is like when we went to Iceland, I think the reason why it was so like impacted us so deeply is because we all share similar values, and I think all of us were blown away by the landscape. If we had not been, I don't think it would have.
Yeah, because it's impact. A mutual appreciation.
Yeah, so like all of us
like,
were fucking breathtaking. Yeah,
like this is amazing.
Like when we saw the Northern Lights for the first time,
we were all like,
everyone was like, "Get the fuck in the car, we need to go!" Like immediately, everyone was freaking out. Like all alarmed.
Miguel took off first.
Miguel did. Yo, he was the quickest.
Gone.
Him and Erica were the quickest ones.
Then we were driving there. We were all driving there. We saw a car in the ditch, and we were like, idiots, like stupid. How are you gonna get caught in the side in a snowbank? Then we ended up getting caught in the snowbank too, and
not our fault. Like not
our fault. Not
the people who were not faults. Our fault. But we were part of the solution.
We definitely were.
That was another memorable fucking part.
Yes,
in my life, no
we
put
like Spartan Rage on, and just like push that up. But the people that we thought were idiots was Miguel and Erica in the snowbank.
Yeah.
And some Viking dudes helped them out.
They said a minivan pulled up and like 6-7 burly fucking big ass corn fed rye bread fed fucking Icelandic
sourdough just
they just shoved the fucking shot putted the car back onto the fucking road. It was crazy.
Yeah, so very, very memorable. But you're right, though. Like, we all appreciate nature, and, we do have a similar, set of, like, values and things we appreciate and things we, like, love, So when you can appreciate things together to the capacity that you do, that I do, and we both appreciate things to the same capacity, it elevates that experience even more. So, yeah, that's why I think that trip was great. And that's why you say that our trip should be more nature-esque and stuff moving
that's
forward.
Why. But
as opposed to what, though?
Like, as opposed to, like, a city-focused trip. Like somewhere... Like, Chicago interests me, right? But would I rather do a trip to Chicago with you guys? Or, like Utah, Zion National Park? Like, something like that? I think I would go with the park. Because
it's too much hustle and bustle, too much, let's make reservations, and then you just sit in a restaurant, and then you're just like,
and we're from New York, like the Northeast,
so
it's
we're
more
used
the same.
To that stuff.
Yeah, it's more the same.
I mean, and you could argue that anything's a downgrade from New York City.
You could, so, especially when it comes to like metropolitan areas, city activities.
Yeah, so we want to go on the other side of the spectrum, and experience the nature stuff and all that. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
And it's like the little things too, like the road tripping. Like I have spent that. So this trip when we went to Montana, it's the most amount of time I've ever spent behind a fucking car, like driving like 7-8 hours a day, like easy, just driving. But
and that
it was
F1 trillion,
bro. That F-150, yo. I got little Easter eggs all over this fucking episode. But the reason I'm wearing this hat is because me and my boy here are going to see Post Malone.
For
this
what?
Saturday.
For what's the occasion?
For my birthday. My dad was very, Very kind. And he got me tickets to see Post Malone. And I was like, Mike, we got to, yeah. I was like, ooh, yeah. No. I was like, Mike, we got to go. And he was like, yo, wait. Oh, how did I even tell you? Oh, I just remembered. I asked you, I was like, what are you doing on the 20? I didn't even say my birthday because I fucking hate, but I was like, what are you doing on the 28th? You're like, your birthday? I don't know, but probably something with you.
Yeah,
You said
it's your birthday. So it's whatever you want to do is what I'm doing.
So then I was like, I think you literally said that. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I think you're going to a Post Malone concert.
Oh, yeah, and you did say that. I was like, huh? Wait, what?
You were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, so we're going this Saturday. And F1 Trillion is obviously the album. Bro, that album is a grower, but something about actually listening to it in like a country landscape.
Oh, I'm sure.
It actually does add to it. I'm not even just saying that because I'm a fucking dick rider.
No,
like
sure.
it actually,
you definitely are. You definitely
I 100%
But
am.
you know what? I'm there too, honestly. You know, I remember, and I was thinking about this. I was listening to his music. I mean, I told you that the past month it's almost been like exclusively
just
Post Malone, just because I've been so excited for the concert. I got, you know, after that first concert, it's just like I don't know, it's just something like you just get hooked on to like more of the music and just like the appreciation of the art. So you think
Governor's Ball impacted your fandom with him?
Oh, for sure. Increased it for sure.
That's interesting.
Because I never thought that I would ever be like starstruck.
For real?
Like I mean, not to sound like, you know, I've never like thought that I'd be like starstruck and like fangirl over someone.
Okay.
And I saw, I mean, you saw me, I was just straight cheesing the whole time, just like staring.
Yeah.
You know? So I never thought I would like be starstruck like that. But then I saw like him talking to the crowd and him performing.
Yeah.
And I always tell you, like, that first song I remember is Better Now. And I just remember that so vividly. He started the concert with Better Now. And like, just thinking back to it just gives me chills, you know?
For real?
I fangirled hard on that.
I love to hear that, though.
And yeah, so I never thought I would, and that definitely increased the appreciation for the music. I got sidetracked. I was gonna say something else.
No, I love this actually. It doesn't, to be honest with you, don't.
No, but I just for my own sake, I wanted to say something else. So I was listening to Post Malone exclusively.
Oh yeah, that's what
all
it was.
This
Yeah,
stuff.
This past month.
What were you saying before that? Because I was going off of
I was saying how we're going to see his concert and how the countryside like landscape does actually make the music sound better.
There was something else I was going to say.
And then you were like, oh, I'm listening exclusively only to him. And I remember saying, I think what you were going to say is I remember saying that like, I think what you were going to say is that you were going to say that I remember saying that this album isn't.
Oh, no. Okay. What I do remember. Now, thank you.
Okay.
I remember when I was in like high school, I would be like, oh, Post Malone, this dude's an auto-tune guy. Like,
really? You used to think that?
You don't remember I would say that?
I remember like the typical things that people would rag on him for.
I would say that all the time. Like, dude just on auto-tune. Like, he's just like, oh, whatever.
And he's a white guy rapper. At the time, that's not
white
you were
rapper,
saying, but people, that's the things that people would rag
sure.
on him for.
I would always say auto-tune. And I would rag on Lemon Tree.
You used to rag on Lemon Tree a lot.
Something better. Yeah, right. I would always say that, right? So I would like just be like, you know, Post Malone, whatever. Now, this year, 1000%, he's the number one like listened on Spotify for me. 1000%.
For real?
Last year it was Bad Bunny first, then Post Malone.
Okay.
Then probably The Weeknd because he dropped that album.
Not Kanye. Right? Then The Weeknd.
Kanye was like 4.
Okay.
5 was Khalid. Yeah.
We have very similar tastes in music.
Yeah. Just good vibes though, you know?
Oh yeah.
Good
100%.
Good vibes.
A road trip with this motherfucker right here is like the easiest musically
tunes,
the tunes are always blasting. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think the Post
Penn
Malone
State trip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the Penn State trip was the thing that kicked it all off because I think
that was fun.
When did we listen to Blame It On Me?
Penn State, first time.
So first time
Penn State trip.
On the way there or on the way back?
On the way there.
Okay.
On the way there.
Okay.
On the way there.
So we listened to that song. And then I think from there, it just opened up a conversation. You started playing songs, and then it was just back and forth like, yo, this one means a lot to me. Yo, peep this in this track. Like, listen to like the way that the bass hits you. So like all that discussion about his shit, I think kind of like laid the foundation for it. And then I think the thing that probably hit the nail in like the coffin was the first concert. Because like when you're seeing it,
I was a big fan even before
at that
the concert.
Point, yeah.
That's why I was at the concert. That's why you invited me to go to the concert, and I wanted to go.
Yeah,
I honestly kind of think I invited myself because you didn't think I would be like a concert goer type. Because honestly, that was my first concert, and it was more like a festival thing, right?
Yeah.
Gov Ball.
That was your second concert.
Oh yeah,
but the first one I don't really count.
Yeah, me neither.
Because it's not really like we're not.
Yeah, I didn't know too many of her songs.
Like you're going as an event, like just to go.
Yeah,
more so.
That's like
why I was there.
Secondary.
Yeah,
right, to being in Mohegan. But yeah, like you know that I'm not a big concert guy. But I mean, going to that, it kind of awakened
changed some shit.
Like it. When you really like the artist, I think that's what it is, right? Because you go to a concert and you're not really crazy about the person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. You know, you don't sing along to the songs. The songs don't mean much to you. They don't really like
resonate as much.
If you listen to like Blame It On Me live, you just, you have so much background with the music, background with the songs. You're with people who also love same deal and experiencing nature together. We both experience and love nature together, and it elevates the experience. When I'm next to you and like listening to Post Malone live, like when Chemical was playing and I rounded the corner, like stuff like that gets burned into your head, and it's just like great experience. But yeah,
I'm not exaggerating. That moment is like. That's in like the top 5 moments of my life. Like I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Dude. I'm not joking. I don't have a fucking kid. What people usually like? What do people usually say for top couple moments? Oh, when I lost my virginity, that shit was ass for me. When I lost my virginity was garbage. So it's not even in the fucking top.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but just to be honest, right? It was garbage. And then like the fucking, I don't have a kid. So that's not even on there. Like I can't even name. I haven't experienced shit like that where I could say, where people typically will name a child being born as one of the top moments. I don't have anything like that to put on
Getting
my list.
Married, having a kid,
that type of shit. I don't have any of those major life events yet. I guess like moving out for that. I wouldn't even put that up there too. Technically, I moved out.
Yeah.
Like,
what
to
else?
Brooklyn.
Like people say, like graduating. For me, I didn't give a damn.
I didn't give a damn about graduating college either. I think that's more so for like the older generations.
Yeah,
that
maybe.
Like,
maybe like paying off your parents' house if you have to.
That would be a great feeling. I could imagine too. But
getting your parents, mom, whatever, a car, like
stuff like that.
Things like
very
that.
grand gestures. Yeah. But that moment
also speaks to guys paying for things and wanting to do that
when you feel like a provider.
Yeah, it completes. I don't know. Anyway,
no. What were it completes
just
what?
Like it kind of makes you feel like a man, like providing and like
capable, because you could take care of people around you,
and you can provide for the people you love and care about.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing your job as a man.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. So,
and you care for your family, and like you're like, I got you guys. Like, don't worry.
Yeah,
like I got it. I'll put the burden on my back. I got it. I'll take care of you guys. Like, that's a great feeling.
That is a good feeling.
Yeah,
that is a really good feeling. But thus far in my life, that Chemical was actually legitimately like top 5 for sure. Because I've recounted this story obviously to you a bunch, but this is the first time I'm telling it on the podcast.
Real quick side note, just a little precursor to your story. The only 2 times I've lost my phone was with you.
The first time?
And then in Iceland?
Yeah.
And the second time.
Oh my God, you did lose your phone. Now I didn't even remember that
now you
part
can say the
of
story.
that.
Now you can say the story.
So I see. This is the point. I didn't even remember that part.
Well, because
story.
I was so scared. I was like, I'm beat. I'm beat for my phone. I was like, I'm beat. Anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I ramble on, right? But I'm gonna try to keep this to the shortest I can. But essentially, what happened was we're in the concert, and we went with a group of people. It was me, Mike, Vishal, Gata, Joseph, Gata's boyfriend, and then my aunt and uncle. And we're standing. There's no designated seats. It's like a standing crowd, right? So we're all standing together, like in this very like shoulder to shoulder, very like dense, fucking packed in crowd, because we're towards the front. So to get out of the crowd, you have to go through like a shit ton of people. And long story short, my uncle started feeling real sick, like I would say like literally as his concert was coming to a close. And he tells me like, I think I'm gonna like.
I remember seeing that too. That was funny, bro.
I actually, you never told me what you saw, so I'd actually love for you to.
So your uncle was feeling a little like queasy, whatever, and he was like, Brandon, I gotta go. I'm not feeling good. Coincidentally, it was at the end of his performance, right?
Yeah.
But then you were just like we were all like having a good time. We were tipsy, like you guys were smoking a little bit, whatever, and like something in you like clicked. Once again, being like a protector, right?
I guess so.
So like what happened? Your uncle was like, dude, I'm not feeling good. I gotta get out of here.
So he looked like he was gonna pass out.
So you just like, from the lighthearted, like, tipsy vibing, you just like lasered up. You postured up.
Yeah.
You grabbed him, hooked his arm, and then you took charge and went against the entire crowd, just like boom, 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 like going
I was
through.
Booking.
And you're a big dude, and like among the averages, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
So you were just like boom, 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 just like splitting. You parted that crowd, and then you just took him to the bathroom, and then he just like, I don't know if he threw up or whatever, used the bathroom, whatever, and just took a break. But like it was funny seeing you do that and just like locking in. Turning around and just like
I got really nervous that he was gonna faint in the crowd. That's why I kind of just like immediately sobered up, like not actually sobered up, but of course like that.
Yeah.
Like you just lock in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if he fucking passes out, this is gonna be a really dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Like you never know if he like a fucking stampede starts or something. He's assed out on the floor.
There, yeah.
Like people are gonna step on
carry him out.
Yeah, like that gets really dangerous.
I mean, we'd be able to hop.
Oh yeah, for sure,
get him out
for sure.
But still, yeah. So that happened. You guys went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
We were taking our time. Everyone was leaving. We're like, damn, that was amazing. It was a little short, but, it's fine, whatever. Like, I'm so fortunate to have, like, seen him. So we were all going to the bathroom and everything, just taking our time. At this point, we got to mention that there was no reception there.
Because it was so packed.
Dense. Yeah.
There's no cell service.
It was so like the density, the population density was so high that it was just sucking out all the service. So when you split with someone, good luck finding them.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like it's like you can't find. It's in a sea of fucking people. There's tens of thousands of people. You're not gonna fucking find the group you were with.
So we were like, you know what, we gotta go too, because I mean they went to the bathroom. So we went to whatever. And I don't exactly remember how we lost you guys, but we did. We lost you guys. I think we were waiting out by the porta potties for a while, and we were like, we don't see. It was me and Vishal.
You're not talking about me and my uncle, are you? You're talking about Gata and Joseph, maybe, and Julian and Mac.
Split all. The whole chemical.
Yeah. But I never went to the bathroom. I took him out of the crowd and to the edge.
Well, I went to the bathroom, with Gata, Joseph, Vishal. Yeah. So you took them to the bathroom, and we're like, okay, we got to go to the bathroom, whatever. But in that moment, we lost you guys.
Yeah.
We lost you guys. We got separated, whatever.
Oh, so you guys left right after I left?
Yeah, we left like right after. We followed you.
See, I didn't know that. I thought you guys just stayed. I thought you guys just stayed in the crowd.
No, we followed you back out. So we used the bathroom, whatever, and then we were just waiting out by the porta potties because that's what the assumption was where you were going. Mm-hmm. He's feeling sick, whatever. So we were just waiting, camping out by the porta potties, and we're like, where are they?
Yeah.
We were just waiting for a while. And then, out of nowhere, we hear, and Sunflower starts playing again.
He comes back out.
He comes back on stage. So we're like, oh, damn, like, yo, he's back. Half the crowd was already on their way out. As soon as they hear the everyone turned around and just went right back up to the front again, right? So in that moment, we were waiting out by the porta potties, and we were like, yo, I'm sorry, but we got to go. Like, we have to go back up, you know? And knowing you absolutely would want to be up there too, so you would go.
Yeah.
I obviously wouldn't leave them, but, you know, the assumption was that they were feeling better or whatever. So Gata, Joseph, me, Vishal, we went, and everyone was, like, going back to the stage. The whole crowd was just like, phew. So then we were going through whatever, and you can take over.
So, but I don't know how. I did not see you guys first. Okay, so from my perspective, when we left, we never went to the porta potties because as I'm running out, I'm like, oh, just hold it, because I thought he said he was gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Right. But then afterwards, it comes out that he actually had said, I'm not. It's not that he said I'm gonna throw up. He said I feel like I'm gonna pass out, which is even worse. I'm glad I didn't hear that. So after I just ran through people like to get him out to the crowd, I sat him down. We were deep from the porta potties. We weren't even close to the porta potties. I sat him down by the edge of the barrier of that section of the field for that stage. And we're sitting, he's completely just leaned up against like the fucking fence. My aunt is on her knees, like talking to him, making sure he's good. And then I'm like just monitoring. I'm like, oh, you get it in? And he's like, yeah, I'm feeling much better. I'm like, all right, bet. So then at that point, I start hearing the and then I look at him, I'm like, okay, so you're feeling good, because like he's on right now. And he's like, go. So I didn't go into the crowd because I was like, fuck, I don't want to lose them.
That's an important detail.
So I stayed kind of back, and I let everybody else, and I stayed back, and I was like looking at the stage from much farther. Obviously now at this point.
It was on the left side.
Yeah.
So you were like tangent.
Like if the center stage is going this way towards the camera, like you're standing on the stage and I'm looking towards the camera, and this is like straight out from the stage. So
perpendicular, bop. You were like
we're
45
out this way,
to 30 degrees.
To if you're on stage to the right, and if you're looking at stage to the left, So like offshoot 45 degrees.
Looking at the stage, we're on the left.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the stage, the guy's playing Sunflower, fucking Post is playing Sunflower, and then like we're like, oh shit, blah blah blah, singing along. And then at this point, it goes from Sunflower to Chemical.
Yeah.
So then now Chemical is playing, and I'm like, oh my God. And like, you know, the tempo for Chemical is like in the beginning is kind of upbeat. And I'm like looking at him, smiling ear to ear, and I'm locked into what I'm looking at in front of me. So I'm not paying shit attention to my fucking peripherals. And also like it's in a crowd, so there's also a lot of movement. So like you don't pick up on a lot of like, you know, like peripheral movement. And all of a sudden, like, I feel a fucking hand grab my shoulder. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn and I see your face.
Because at that point, we were like, you just got to ride out the concert and we'll meet up after.
Yeah.
Because you lose each other, no cell service. He's like, we said that at the beginning. Once you lose each other, it's like,
yeah, that's it.
Kind of
flip.
Yeah. So the fact that we were able to, in the however many thousands of people were there, the fact that we were able to like bump into each other again
was crazy.
Because you're like, oh, you know, I'll just be on the side, whatever. And everyone ran. I was like, I'll just be on the side too. Like we had like the same.
Who saw who? I didn't. Was it Vishal or was it? No. But who saw me first? Because I didn't see you guys.
I
would think it was you who saw me first.
I was leading like through the crowd and just like going through. Yeah. And then, we bumped out, and then I saw you, and that's why, like, I kind of ran up to you.
He sprinted up to me and grabbed me, and then I was like, oh, and then we hugged.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Vishal! And then we started jumping in circles to Chemical.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my aunt, who never dances, she never fucking dances, all of a sudden, she's, like, shoulder to shoulder with us in our little, like, I don't even know. That's not a dance, but we're like,
we're just like jumping because we're just hyped to like bump into each other.
We were fucking freaking out. And then of course, like Chemicals playing, to this day, that feeling of elation, it's like very few moments I could recall feeling that intense. happiness. Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
It was crazy. It was literally euphoria because I'm like looking at the stage. I'm like, this is my favorite fucking art. And all of a sudden, like my fucking
your family and your friends,
literally, like y'all just ran up, grabbed me, and I'm like, it was like a complete full circle moment. Like everything just
you
clicked.
like and care about and love and are interested
in that one moment, and it was insane. It was insane. That's why I say it's top 5 for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
For me, that was amazing too, and like elation, like you said, euphoric. Great SAT vocab.
All the multiple
like,
words that are being
then my heart sank when I reached for my pockets and I didn't find my phone.
Oh yeah, so this is an important.
So I was like roller coastering of emotions. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then I was like, where's my phone? And I was like, oh, I'm beat. I'm not finding this phone. And then I looked on my watch. Thankfully, it didn't say like, you know how it says like missing phone, missing device. Thankfully, it didn't say that.
So you knew it was in the vicinity.
It's in a certain radius of me. I was like, Brandon, I lost my phone. Brandon, I lost my phone. And then like I was just like, obviously my mind is going a million miles a minute. I'm like, I'm not gonna find this phone, even if it's in my radius. Like, there's people everywhere.
Can I ask? Was this did you have the green case on your phone at this time? No, it wasn't.
It was that. It was because if it was green, then it would have blended.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna play. Yeah, so it was the black. Okay.
Yeah. So then like thankfully within like no joke, 30 seconds.
Who found it?
You did.
I found it. I don't remember.
You were like, oh, and you just dove on it and you grabbed it, and then we just kept jumping again.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yo,
I do remember that.
Oh my god,
it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
That was great.
It was amazing. See, those moments is like I think stacking in as many of those moments, right, in your life is like really what life is about.
Absolutely.
Like those memorable moments. And it's not to say like it's not just all about fun, obviously it's not, but this is to say like that's the shit that really matters, is making memories with the people that you truly care for.
Making memories, yeah, because as everyone says, life goes too fast. And when you don't make those memories, like there's less to look back on, and then you really feel like your life goes by fast.
Yeah, you're right.
Because those I've said this before, but like those big, memorable, impactful moments stop the timeline. Like if you think going back in time, your mind will stop at these big, impactful moments, and you'll feel like you're having a longer like life.
They're checkpoints.
Essentially.
If there are more checkpoints, there's more.
So say the last impactful thing you did was 2018.
2018 and now would feel like a fucking blur.
Then it would just blur and blink away. But if every like year, 6 months, however many months, you're doing something that you have like a really strong connection with and like a big memory and great, you're gonna be like, oh man, like we did this and then did this and then did that. And like, I don't know, man, as we get older, that is one of my goals, to feel like I've lived a fulfilled life.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So far, I feel like I've been doing pretty good.
So on that note, actually,
with your help, thank you. Being
bro.
around you is always a great time. But being around, my family, my loved ones, people I really care about. It's back to what you said about the question of like, is it the place or what is it that makes it? I think it's more the people, though. I think it's really hard to argue otherwise. Mm-hmm. It's not what you're doing, it's who you're doing it with, mm-hmm. and who you're with and all that stuff. So, I try my best to surround myself with great people, and I think I've done a pretty good job at doing that so far. So
I would agree. Not just because I'm one of them. I would agree just because you're a fantastic person, and fantastic people tend to have that pull for other great people,
for other fantastic people.
I realize in trying to give you a compliment, I guess I kind of complimented myself, but I was really more so alluding to like the rest of our friends. But
we'll let it slide.
Yeah. But on that note, with like memorable stuff.
Let me get another.
Oh yeah, shit. No, bro.
Where's the ice?
Got you. It's right here. But on that note, I've done plenty yapping about Montana. I need you to talk about Nashville.
The Nash.
I need you to talk about Nashville.
Nashville.
This is like hella water
right
now.
Here.
Yeah. How do you do this?
This has a cap?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Bartender.
You see that? That's called brain meat moment right there. That's called the big brain meats. Here, you want the McAllen?
Yes, sir.
So,
all right.
How was Nashville?
So Nashville, very, very different experience from Montana, I'm sure. Nashville is a very like up and coming like young people hub. Very, you know, party scene, you know, all that stuff. Geographically, it's like not super south. Like it's kind of like smack in the middle, like, you know, latitudinally. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's like a little taste of the South. But at the same time, like, honestly, I thought I was going to get more of like that Southern feel.
Really? You didn't get that much of that Southern feel?
Not as much as I thought, honestly. I was expecting more accents. I was expecting like...
You didn't get many accents?
So that's the thing, right? Like, so in talking to the people there, so much of the people there are tourists.
Oh.
So much so that it dilutes the identity of Nashville. So I told you yesterday, I'll tell you more about like what the locals said. The locals want to leave because it's getting to a point where there's more tourists than not. So it's like eliminating and washing the identity of what Nashville was. And now it's a new age, like party-ish city that it's just like, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. But like, it just seems like a Southern cowboy themed place instead of actually being Southern that. Cowboy? Yeah. I mean, that might be a hot take, but
no, I could see what you're saying.
That's what I get from it.
I can see what you're saying.
You know, just to cover my own, I was there for one weekend. I was at the main strip, Broadway. I didn't see much of Nashville. I wanted to see more, but we were out like, you know, all the nights, and we hit Broadway pretty good. We hit some good restaurants. We hit, you know, some fun spots, but maybe my opinion would change more if I was there for longer. But yeah, so essentially the locals are kind of wanting to bounce, wanting to leave. Everything's getting super expensive from their standards.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot cheaper before, whatever.
Do you think that's because all the rich people from like the Northeast who want to have like a fake cowboy experience go down there and then they make that shit too expensive?
I think it's just like, you know, just like one of those cities like Austin that's just kind of like booming right now. You know, a lot of people are going there for work and stuff. So it's just an up and coming like place.
Okay.
But like, unfortunately, with anything like being up and coming, you kind of lose the sense of identity of like what it was before. And it just kind of becomes like a wishy-washy, like, oh, that's why I'm saying it's like a Southern cowboy themed place instead of actually being that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it was a great time. You know, I forget what the number was, but it was a staggering amount of like tourists that are there like every weekend. So like the people say that every weekend you get such an influx of people and you get like a different batch of people. But so the reason I was there is because one of my good friends from track, one of his good friends moved there from Nanuet. So he moved there, and it was like a pseudo housewarming kind of like celebration for him because he was there for like 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
So we went to visit, you know, just kind of have fun and mess around. And like he was also trying to find new places and stuff. So he was learning too. The food, first day, very good. Barbecue, very good.
Okay.
One thing that I didn't have that I really wanted is the Nashville hot chicken sandwich. I did not have that.
Why? Like your group just didn't get around to it?
It was, I forget. Yeah, we just kind of didn't get around to it. But I think it was a little off of where we were. Like we spoke to somebody and said, oh, like these are the 2 places to go for it. And it was a little like further out. So we're like, eh. You know.
Can I ask, the group that you went with, right? Would you say that, like going into it, you guys all had like the same like priority list of like what to do there, or did everyone kind of have like a different?
No, we were all like it was a really fun crew, good guys. We were all just trying to like go out and have fun, you know. We definitely wanted to like get good food,
okay,
but that was more like early day activities,
okay,
you know.
And at nighttime it was something.
And then
different.
nighttime you just go out and like have fun, whatever. And we definitely did that, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that's why I was really curious about that. So the bar scene in Nashville.
Bar scene is kind of crazy. Yeah,
like some of the craziest you've experienced.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh my god,
it's definitely a lot. It's really fun. So like, just to immediately like give you an idea, there's so many like bachelorette parties there.
Oh,
so yeah, so like,
okay,
you know, bachelorette parties, they want to wild out, you know, they want to do their thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they'll go to certain places. Nashville is one of those big places.
Okay.
And it's just funny, bro. Like people's minds change when they're like in a crew and like away from home. It's just funny, right?
Like
they get like emboldened.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
do shit that you know that they probably like, wouldn't do back at home or whatever.
You got a man and you're doing this,
or like what? Can you give me like what did you see?
Okay, so for example, in the morning, early afternoon, it was like 12:30. Okay. We were going to brunch.
Okay.
And we were walking. We went to one spot. We Ubered in, and the wait was like an hour and a half. So we're like, no thanks. We'll walk to another spot. Mm-hmm. On the walk to another spot, there was like those like little like bike things. Like there's like, it's like a lift thing, but there's like 5 people on this side, 5 people on the other side, and they're just like pedaling. And it moves the whole thing. Yeah,
like a bicycle bar.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So then there was a group of girls on that, and then I forget verbatim what she said, but one of the ladies there, she was probably like 30-something, early 30s. She was like, "Oh, wow, such a handsome man."
To you?
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, like, thank you," you know? But like, it's just funny because societally, usually
the dude is the
one catcalling the girl. So it's just like, you know, it's just funny.
Was she the bride?
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, no. Thank God not.
Okay.
That would be sad, bro.
That would be really bad.
Oh my God, that would be so sad.
That would be really bad.
But who knows? She probably already got married, right?
Probably.
You know?
Probably.
Yeah. So anyway, so like you're used to not being catcalled.
Was she white?
She was white.
Was she blonde?
No.
Oh, but this isn't a local. Okay. Because I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, not a local. You know, you're emboldened. You're in a different place. You're with your girls. You know, it's like, oh, this doesn't matter. You know, I'm just gonna be here. Everyone's a tourist. It's gonna, you know, just wash away and this and that. Mm-hmm. So people get emboldened because they think it's just gonna be like, oh, it's whatever.
Like what happens in Nashville stays in
that kind of deal, right? So I was walking. Oh my God, handsome man. And like, what happens if I'm like, oh yeah, let me up on that lift thing, right? Then what happens? You know, and then something whatever. But like, that's how. So there's a few other stories, you know, but yeah, people are like very like bold.
Okay.
Like, and the girls more so than I guess you're used to at a regular place, because you go to Nashville for a reason, it seems. Okay. Like the bachelorette parties, you know, they go to Wild Out, whatever. But yeah, you know, like it was funny. So another time, we were at what bar was it? Friends in Low Places.
That's a good ass name for a bar.
Well, there's the song.
Oh, I got Johnny Cash?
I don't think so.
Fuck, who is that? But keep talking. I just have to look.
Friends in Low Places, like that song.
Yeah.
But
Merle Haggard maybe.
No.
Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's probably his bar then. Is it his bar?
I'm sure it is with that name.
Probably.
So I was there, and like, first of all, the bars are really cool. Like they have live music everywhere, a bunch of bands playing, people watching the bands, like big spacious bars, nice actual bar tops and stuff. But yeah, it's just like good vibes, like good energy, really spacious, you know, a lot of people. This was This was Friday. We were there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then we left Sunday morning, and that's another story. So Friday we went to Friends in Low Places because Thursday night we were like, oh yeah, that was a cool spot, so we'll go back. So anyway, we go up there, whatever. We get to the rooftop, and there's like a stage area, and then another area outside because there was an indoor like rooftop area, and then like an outdoor rooftop area.
Okay.
And then you see like Broadway and like the other bars across the street and everything. So there was a DJ outside, but live music inside.
Okay.
The DJ was like more like lower, like not as many people, not as big as the inside stage area. So we were in there, and then like, you know, we were just having fun, dancing, whatever. And like the people I was with, they were good time, so they like dance. You know, it was like Justin, you know Justin, like he's a good time, he has good energy. Andrew, and then Matt, he's the one who moved. Good energy, you know. So we were all dancing, whatever, and then I just noticed, I just feel like a burning, like 2 holes burning on the side of my head. So then like I look, because like you
can feel it, yeah.
So you look over, and then like that was her green light, I guess. Just looking, I looked over, and then I looked back, and you know, I kept dancing. Within like 10 seconds, she like came over and like slowly like tried to like start dancing with us, whatever. This girl's bold. And so first she was like, her opening line was like, oh, has anyone told you you look like Miguel? I have a brother, Miguel.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But not the Miguel you're thinking of. There was a Miguel from Love Is Blind.
Oh, I thought you were meaning Miguel the singer. No. You do not look anything like Miguel the singer.
So there's a Miguel in Love Is Blind, and I was like, I don't know who that is. You know, I don't really watch that stuff. I looked them up, and I don't really see the resemblance. But she was like, "Oh, that's okay. Just, you know, take it as a compliment." And I was like, oh, "Okay, like I guess he must be a good-looking guy." And she was like, "Oh, he is." Like, so they're like,
wait,
bold.
Did she have an accent?
No,
no. Wait, was she white?
She was white.
Was she blonde?
Dirty blonde.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why every time I hear it's like, if this is in my mind's eye, because it's in Nashville, I'm just thinking of like a blonde white girl. Because it's not, yeah.
So then she said that, and I was like, oh, haha, thanks, whatever, thank you. And then, you know, kind of just like, you know, shimmied off and just started like dancing, you know, with like the guys, whatever. So she kind of was like outside of the circle, and then she got the idea, and she kind of like phased off a little bit. Then she came back again. And she was like, oh, can you carry me? I was like, yo, chill out. You know, and it's weird. Like, I'm not trying to sound like, oh, my God, people were, like, flocking to me. Like, no, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, they're bold. They were bolder over there. And so I was just like, yo, like, chill, like, relax, stop. Like, it was honestly made me uncomfortable. Like, no lie.
For real?
I've never, like, really been like in a situation
that heavy like that
hard. And to be honest, like, that's a turnoff, number one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
1000%.
Okay.
1000%.
Okay, that's interesting.
Bro, when someone's just like throwing it on you.
That's interesting that you think it's a turnoff.
Absolutely.
I would not think it's a turnoff.
Bro, because
if I was single, I would not think it's a turnoff.
My mentality is, okay, she's doing that to me.
Who else has she done it to?
She is doing that to every other person in there.
The only reason that I'm presenting a counter, like a rebuttal here, is just because that is assuming that most people like look like you. So that is the thing. But we're just gonna be real here. There's a reason that bitches be flocking to you. Like just to put it lightly. Just to put it lightly. We all know. No, I mean, you could tell from the camera, but I've told you you're $1 million. You look like $1 million.
Thank
right?
you. I appreciate that.
So it makes sense.
I appreciate that. My point is that they're bolder, not that I'm whatever Casanova.
No, because you're also humble. But it's very surprising to hear that that's a turn off.
That is an absolute turn off to me.
Maybe it's just because I'm down here with the dogs.
Stop
That
it. Yo, you're crazy,
if
bro.
that was me, I would have been like,
Relax.
all right, it's not a turn off. What you talking about? Yeah, let me pick you up,
Come here,
girl.
little mama.
Let me see if I could get a couple PRs in.
Yeah.
God damn, I ain't hit the gym today. Let me pick you up a couple. Hannah, don't kill me. It's jokes. It's jokes.
So she was doing that, whatever, and I was like, oh, you know, whatever. So she got the hint, and then I got the hint. She got the Heisman. She got the Heisman.
Yeah.
So then she, stopped, whatever. She peeled off, and then we started dancing again, like our crew. And she did one last ditch effort.
God damn!
That's what I'm saying. This is why it's a turn off.
See, okay. 3 times is a little deep. One, two, whatever. But 3?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there was a song that the DJ was playing. It said something about like stealing a kiss.
Okay.
So she came over to me the 3rd time and touched my face and tried to turn me.
And how tall is this bitch?
She was not tall. I don't remember.
So reason I'm asking is because you're pretty tall. So
high.
Did she
She
have
was like like average.
Okay.
Like 5'5", like not that tall. Not that like even, like
when she grabbed your face, did she grab it aggressively or was it?
No, she didn't yank my face. No, she like touched my face and tried, like you feel a little like a little
like a little this way
suggestion
and
to
what
turn.
You probably did.
So I was like, when someone touches your face, that's not like the most like, you're gonna be alarmed.
Oh yeah,
when someone
100%.
touches your face.
Yeah.
So like I'm just dancing with my guys, and then like you just feel a hand come across your face, and I'm like I don't like that.
Yeah,
you know. So I was like, oh, and then like she like I was like, whoa, like that was like too much. That was like too much. I was being polite before. I was like, whoa, like no. I was like, no, stop. Like no, I was like, I hit her. I think I went like this to her. I was like, and that like you saw it in her face. It like kind of like shattered her. You feel bad, but at the same time, like, dude, get the hint the first 2 times.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
So my point as to why it's a turnoff. She's gonna be doing that to every other person. Like she kind of would probably do that to every other person. Bro, after I dubbed her, not once, not twice, but 3 times, I was just watching just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Bro, no lie. I saw this girl bounce around to 5 different people.
Okay.
In that rooftop.
Okay.
Bro, she has every STD, ABC, XYZ under the book, bro.
Yeah, she was just trying to get some on that trip.
I'm not going to assume that, but like...
No, she was trying to get some on that trip.
She was absolutely 100%. Trying to get some,
Because you don't come across as that aggressively if you're trying to date someone or something. And to me, it's like,
that's just like, brother, ew.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just like, it's just too much.
I see what you're saying.
It's just too much.
I see what you're saying.
Be like chill about it if that's what you're doing.
Yeah. I didn't think about the fact that you saw, like, I didn't think about the fact that you were to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that after, but I still maintain that thought process before. Like, that's still a turn off.
It's like, it reinforces that idea.
So I'm like, I was right. Exactly. I was right.
Yeah,
I'm like, I figured. Like,
Yeah.
Like, figured. But yeah, it's just like, it's crazy. You see that and you're just like, oh my God, dude. Like,
did you see her bat successfully, or was she?
No, I think she struck out. That bitch was 0 for 6. I mean, I wasn't paying attention that much, but like, still, like, there's a certain energy that's exuded. That's a word, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not like. It's pleasant. It was like overwhelming, like an overwhelming presence. Imagine if a guy's going up to a girl.
Oh, if it's too aggressive, it's like fucking kills the vibe.
Like
you're
like
pervert.
Relax. Yeah.
Relax. Like chill it.
So that's the same energy from a guy coming to a girl, and the guys aren't used. Me, as a guy, you're not used to receiving that. Yeah. Right. So even more so, it's that much more aggressive. So it's just like so much that it's like. Something's wrong with you. Yeah. Something's wrong with you.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
The aggressiveness is like, I don't like that at all. But I also equally hate the standoffishness.
Prudish people?
No, not prude. No, not prude. Standoffishness and an attitude like their shit doesn't stink. Like they are like,
like I don't if like you were to try to approach someone and they're like, just like, who the fuck are you?
All right, that just
Yeah.
Like
100%.
I thought you were cute before.
Now you're not so
anymore.
much.
Now, you know,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And like, cause I don't want to deal with someone with a bad attitude. You know, you go out and you try to have fun. You know, you want a good time. You don't want to talk to someone who is just like, I'm too good for this. Then don't be here.
Yeah.
You know, like,
or if you like, let's say if you're single, you're doing your thing, you're going to try to talk to someone, and you don't fuck with them, you can reject them like the way you rejected her in a polite way.
But that's another thing too. If she wasn't, you know, if they're not feeling me, fine. Like that's cool. You know, like that's okay. I don't have like that much of an ego. Like it is what it is. Like fine. There's people I'm not feeling. There's people who won't feel me. Like it is what it is. You know. But yeah. Anyway, back to the point is like people were bold. People were pretty bold.
Were those the only two experiences that you had where you were like, or like the most bold experience? Those
were the bold ones. That was by far the most bold one.
Which night did you get like the most fucked up? First night?
Friday. No, second night.
Second night.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a video of me. I was just like laying on the floor.
I gotta see this.
Yeah,
I gotta see this video. So like, what was the itinerary on Friday? What about Friday made it the night that you guys were just like?
Well, that was in the middle of the. So we got there Thursday. Then Friday we had the whole day there. Then Saturday was the last night we could go out because Sunday morning we had a flight at 6 a.m.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can't get
Saturday
too fucked up.
night we were out to like 2, and then we got home at like 2:30. We were out to. We got back at no. Excuse me. We were out to like 1:32. We got back at 2:30. We slept till like 4:15. And then we had to get up and be at the airport for the 6:15 flight. So it was brutal. It was a mess.
Yeah. Hungover?
So that was we were pretty like hungover, you know, we were like feeling like sleep. Once again, probably should just stayed up, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was at the start of at the front of the so my friend's friend lives in a complex. He moved in a complex, really nice complex, super nice complex. The kid has 2 bathrooms, huge bathroom, like really nice place. So it's in a gated like complex, and his was all the way at the back. Realistically, probably like a half a mile. Realistically.
Oh Jesus. Okay. That is a big complex.
Like half a mile, maybe
from the main entrance.
Maybe like 3/8 of a mile.
Okay.
Like, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but like that's a pretty far way back.
Yeah.
So I forget what happened that the kid couldn't open the gate. I think he I forget what happened, if he was like working or something, or I forget what. So we called an Uber, and then the kid couldn't open the gate to let the Uber in. So I had to get all my bags, my book bag and my carry-on, and I had to jog all the way up at 4:30 in the morning to the gate, rolling my thing up the speed bumps and all the way uphill to then open the gate to the person, and then we drove back and then picked up the other 2 guys.
Why did you go and not the other 2 guys?
Because the other guy was still packing up. And I was like, come on, dude. Come on. I was like, I called the Uber. Like, we had to be ready. He's like, oh, you should have woke me up earlier. I'm like, you should have set your own alarm earlier. But it's all right. It's all part of the story.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, so then we got to the airport beat. I'll talk about like more of the trip because whatever. But so we got on the air. We got to the airport. You know, we boarded, whatever. We were just like beat, right? We were like, damn, we shouldn't have even slept. Like, we feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Some other kid took that advice and did not sleep. There was another kid who was boarding our same flight. He was trashed. Like, he was so sauced and trashed that at the gate, he was like yapping and just like being a mess. So we all boarded, and he was like the last group to board. And he was just getting on the, like, just slurring and like a mess, right? So he sat down, and he was just trying to talk to like 2 girls who were like diagonally one back from him. And then essentially, like, he was just being too much of a ruckus. The flight attendants came, and they were like, hey, you know, you really got to like either relax or we're going to have to remove you. And the kid was like, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm just sitting here. You know that. And he was like such like the typical like douche, like frat boy, like look.
God.
Yeah, terrible. Typical, like, to a T frat boy.
Like a fucking golf polo or some shit.
Nah, but he was like a bigger kid, so he had like he wasn't like those puny, like frail. Like he had like he wasn't like super muscular, but like he was just like a 6'2" kid.
Okay.
But yeah, like a frat boy, kind of like entitled, like prick kind of deal. So he was just, yeah, what am I doing? I'm just saving my flight, all that. And then I heard the flight attendant walk back, and then they were both like talking. They were like, okay, we got to make a decision. Are we kicking him out? Or are we gonna, just take off?
Yeah.
Because the flight was taking off, and it was waiting on that decision. So ultimately, they decided to kick him off.
No way.
So they went up to him and they were like, hey, let's just have a conversation. I want to talk to you about what happened, about like your seat, whatever. Because supposedly he was complaining about the seat, whatever. Oh, let's talk to you about the seat and whatever. Let's just talk outside, though. Let's just talk outside. That's what the flight attendant said. Oh, let's just talk outside. Instead of saying, oh, hey, we're kicking you off. She was like, let's talk outside, smart, yeah. We'll figure it out. Let's talk outside. And he was like, why do I get to go outside? Like, he was like bad, like slurring a lot.
Oh my God.
And like really loud.
Yeah. Like
no volume control, whatever. So then he's like, no, I don't want to, I'm not going to leave him, whatever. So then another like cop guy, Marshall, guy
Marshall
came and he was like, hey, we got to go. Like, we got to go.
And then picked him up and took him out?
He didn't physically pick him up, but there was two of them and then the flight attendant. So he was just like...
The presence is enough.
You're so, like, yeah, there was three of them.
Yeah.
I mean, remember what happened to me?
I was going to say, that was the perfect game. You were just like, damn, bro, the whole cavalry.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you outside the bathroom. Then three of them came. I was like, oh, so you got backup.
You brought in backup. Oh my God, that was crazy.
Oh my God.
No, but you were, in your defense, you were legitimately not acting up.
I absolutely was drunk, but I mean, you know me. I'm not.
Everyone was
like
drunk.
That.
No.
You know what I think it was, though? You know what I think it was? I was drunk and waiting outside of a bathroom. They probably didn't like that look, Like some drunk person, like, let me just wait outside the bathroom.
It's like waiting outside or leaning up against something. It just
it's like, but also like being outside the bathroom is like almost like predatory, maybe. So they were like, let's get this kid out, and I was waiting for you. I wasn't waiting for some like girl stumbling out of the bathroom. You know, so whatever. They I was removed.
That's so funny that you say like the whole thing about like the presence being enough, because that was legitimate. I'm just gonna drink this before, because the ice, there was too much water in there, but that was legitimately the same thing I thought when you were like, the two dudes brought on, who's like, all right, I gotta go.
Because I was talking to the first guy and I was like, what's going on? I'm just waiting for my friend in the bathroom. And he was like, oh, I was just, the manager just asked me kind of just to, I'm sorry, like I see, you're really not that drunk, but once I get an order from the manager, like,
that was unreasonable.
We can't argue with it. And I was
they
like,
were being unreasonable.
I was like, but like I'm fine though. Like I'm just waiting for my friend. I don't want to lose him in the crowd. Like where else am I supposed to go? And then he was like, oh, sorry. They don't budge at that point, right? So once they say, oh, kick someone out, they're gonna kick him out. So I was like, I was just like, are you like sure? Like what do you like?
Like, what do I have to do essentially to show you that I'm not?
Not even that, because that's what every drunk person says. Mm-hmm. That's what every drunk person says. What do you want me to do? I'm not drunk. I'll prove to you I'm not drunk. Like I was just like, could I talk to him? Because everyone was there. You, all your friends, Kata, her friends, everyone was there. Yeah. So I don't want to be the one guy, ruining it for everyone else. But they essentially, the guy was like, oh, the manager said, we gotta remove you. So, sorry, but it is what it is. And then at that point I said, oh, like, could I just talk to him? Because like, whatever. And then little by little I felt woof, woof, two dudes just like come here. And then the other bouncer was like right in front of me. And I was just like,
okay.
So it was like that. I was like, you guys, what did I forget what
No,
I
you
said.
literally said, you're like,
so you got all the reinforcements.
You're going to call in the backup, huh? All right.
I was like,
all right, I'll leave.
I was like, whatever, man. It's like,
isn't it a good feeling though that they, like, for that motherfucker, they only brought two, but for your ass, they were like, hey, get everyone in the building right now. Yeah. You're like, excuse me, we got a code red. Code red. No, for real. If I was,
I mean, they'll need like 5 people for you.
What? No, there's a difference though. Like this is why I say I think you're like the bear. Like remember we were talking about like spirit animals. You just have like this like, and not to say this in an insulting way, but you just have this like air about you where it's like you're just a very capable dude. Like I think other dudes me can
this whole podcast.
No, but it's true though. It's true, and I've said this to you off air too. So like it's off air, but like you know that this is something I think of you like. You just have that presence, and it's like I think that. Other men can pick up on that because men are just I feel like hardwired to look at like pick up threats and shit.
Just scan the room. Yeah, everyone scans the room.
So when you see, I feel like when someone sees you, they're like, oh, that's not good. There's like 6 feet of like lean muscle right now.
I never want to like.
You don't give, but this is the funny thing. You don't give out that energy though. It's not like you purposely give out like the.
Well, like but remember presence. At the very beginning when I first met you,
that was different though. Like we're talking about high school.
Yeah, but you said you were like, yeah, I don't like what's up with this guy, like kind of thing.
Yeah,
like I mean, I was the new kid, so I had to guard up. Yeah. But I've kind of gotten that like from you. You're like, oh, you're just not the most approachable. But like I'm a nice guy.
I think since high school you've definitely that is like it's night and day difference. But it's just never gonna go away just because of the fact that you are. I
probably wasn't the nicest, I guess.
No, it's not that you weren't the nicest. It's just like you've adjusted, you softened your edges to compensate. I would say for the fact that you have just naturally that like presence. But it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of like it is what it is. Like you're just.
I mean, hey,
it's better than being the opposite. It's 100% better than being the opposite. You don't want to be the guy that everyone feels like they could walk all over.
Yeah, definitely.
It's way better to be the person that you're like, oh, don't fuck with that guy. Oh, he happens to be a really, really nice, sweet dude.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that. I think that's why they brought in the fucking cavalry.
Yeah,
the 3 people
anyway,
to back up.
Yeah. So that happened, but yeah.
So Nashville, so we had the airport. They got kicked off. The guy got kicked off.
Yeah, so they got kicked off. Whatever. We took the flight home. It was fine. But we went to a few other bars too, though. Like there was other bars were like really cool. We went to the Morgan Wallen bar. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. It was like 6 floors.
What?
A 6th floor like bar. And
which one was your favorite of the bars that you visited, if you have to say? And what was the best meal that you had there? Those are the really 2 questions that I'm trying to.
Okay, so best meal, and then I'll get into the bars because that's longer. Best meal
and drink
was biscuits and gravy.
Okay.
Biscuits and gravy at a brunch spot on Broadway.
Oh.
And, I wasn't there for long. I'm sure I could find better eats. The barbecue was great, by the way, there.
Okay.
The barbecue was great. But the biscuits and gravy was Friday morning after a long Thursday of flight and being out and drinking, whatever. Yo, that gave me life.
Really?
That biscuits and gravy smacked.
Really?
There was 2 nice, meaty, like juicy biscuits, bro.
Like what? Yeah. Perfect size? Perfect perkiness?
Oh, my
perfect succulence.
Dude. Oh yeah. Smothered in.
Make you want to put that gravy on there. That baby gravy.
That baby gravy, bro.
No, but what type?
It was really good.
Was it like sausage, like the white gravy, not the brown gravy?
It was sausage gravy, yeah.
That does sound good.
It was so good, man.
Was there eggs with it?
Yeah.
There was eggs with it too?
Yeah.
So that was the best meal that you had in the...
Well, that's what I'm saying. We didn't go out to eat too much. We had barbecue. We had 2 brunch spots.
What was the dinner like?
We had some canes. We were just out all day, dude. So we got canes.
So it was like grub,
just to refuel some grub and just back out.
I feel you.
Because we don't want to interrupt like just being out and like exploring, the spots and stuff. Because then like, okay, you make a dinner. We could have, but like we would have went to the dinner reservation. Would have like cut into the day. It just like logistically.
The main thing is the bar hopping.
Yeah, just like going out and experiencing whatever.
So what was the best bar and best drink though too? The best drink. Unless you what were you? Because you're not really like you're a cocktail guy, I would say.
Yeah, I was drinking more cocktails, so I had a good amount of like, I had some rye, some Bullet rye bourbon, and
When did you? Okay, yeah, can I ask when did your whole tune on this kind of start switching up? Because you asked me the other day, and like right now we're sipping on some whiskey and bourbon and stuff.
When did I start liking it?
Yeah, because you didn't historically, like even as soon as.
Well, I mean, I was never a big drinker. Number one, but two.
Oh yeah, but of the alcohols, I'm saying like whiskey.
Well, Miguel obviously is a big influence on that.
Okay.
I mean, of the alcohols to sip, I'm not sipping vodka. You got me.
Yeah, not sipping disgusting. Vodka. That's disgusting.
Tequila, not gonna sip that either.
Some people do on the rocks.
Yeah, if it's really good tequila, but I just
like
I can't. I can't. Maybe I haven't come across a good tequila. Sipping gin is just like you're not really doing that. The only other one I could sip is rum. I feel like I could sip a good rum.
That is crazy to me because that is
good dark rum. You don't like
the
rum.
Shit that fucking because I have like a that you know how everyone has that one alcohol that like it just fucked them up really bad one time, so that for some reason you just kind of get skeeved out.
Yeah,
that's rum for me.
Yeah,
and it was my first date with Hannah. That for whatever reason,
what were you drinking?
Mojitos, but on an empty stomach, and I had like 3 of them, and I was like. The next day I was like gagging, like it was bad.
No, but that's white rum. Dark rum has like similar to whiskey. It has like
a caramelized flavor.
Well, whiskey has a bunch of different like woody, oaky, herbal, caramelized, sugary. You know, like all these different like notes. Rum is more like sweet molasses, banana-y, sugary, like those like deeper, darker, like sweet flavors.
Okay.
So a really good rum, like a good Puerto Rican rum, like a good Caribbean, Jamaican rum, whatever. I feel like I could sip that, like a good one.
I'm down to try it again with you.
Yeah, I feel like I could do that. But whiskey is definitely the sippable.
See, but even recently, I feel like you wouldn't seek it out. But I guess so you had Bullet Rye down there, and you were feeling it. It was good.
Well, we were just taking shots of that. We were just taking shots of it, yeah.
I guess when in Rome.
We weren't, we didn't really go too crazy in like getting fancy cocktails or getting like, good whiskeys and stuff because at those bars, it's not like, that's not the vibe.
True.
You go out and you get like a tequila soda lime juice and just keep it pushing.
Yeah. It's more for
or get a beer or just whatever.
It's like for the effect rather than like the artisan of like the drink.
So that
like
would be like either during the day, you go to like the distillery or whatever, and then you like appreciate it. But at night when you're out and shoulder to shoulder with people, you're not going to be like, oh.
So wait, nice. but you didn't go during the day to like there were distilleries that you could have done that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
I would have done that.
I know.
Tennessee whiskey.
I know.
Shit,
I know,
bro.
You see, but we were only there for a short weekend.
So you have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So